16th Psalm 46, one verse. God is our refuge and strength. Breakdown. God as a source of help and security in trouble. 17th, 1 Peter 5:7. Verse, cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Breakdown. Encourages trust in God with our worries. 18, 2 Corinthians 5:17. Verse, therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. Breakdown. Highlights transformation through faith in Christ. 19th James 1:5 verse. If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God. Breakdown. God's willingness to provide wisdom to those who seek it. 20. Colossians 3:2. Verse, set your minds on things that are above. Breakdown. Encouragement to focus on spiritual matters.
Welcome back, everyone. We're diving deep today,
Yeah.
into those verses you've been looking at about, strength and wisdom when things get tough.
Yeah.
So we're going to really focus in on 5 specific passages, like those nuggets of comfort and direction that those verses offer.
I love that. I love those nuggets.
Right. Okay, so are you ready?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay, let's jump in. The first group of verses, they're all about finding refuge, like a safe place,
Yeah.
and releasing anxiety.
Yes.
Letting go of that worry. So we'll start with Psalm 46.1. It says, God is our refuge and strength and ever-present help in trouble. When you hear that word refuge, what comes to mind?
Oh, refuge. I think of a strong tower, maybe like a safe haven
Yeah.
in the middle of like a raging storm.
Oh, I like that.
Raging
You know,
storm.
Yeah. When you think about the challenges like you're facing right now, how does that idea of refuge, how does that resonate with you? It's interesting, right? Because for the people who first heard this psalm, their storm was a literal military invasion.
Wow. Yeah. That puts it in perspective.
Yeah. So when you think about that, like that historical context, it makes this verse feel even more powerful.
Oh, absolutely.
Like no matter what craziness is happening around us, there's this unshakable place of safety.
I love that. Yeah. And it makes me think about that next verse you picked, 1 Peter 5:7, even more powerful. It says, cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. It's like a call to action. It's actively choosing to surrender our worries.
Yeah, but that act of surrendering, that can be hard.
Oh, tell me about it.
I mean, I know I struggle with it. I find myself like holding on to anxieties, almost like I need to worry, to feel in control.
Yeah, I think a lot of people struggle with surrendering their anxieties.
Yeah.
It's like rooted in fear of the unknown or that desire to control everything.
Right.
We think like if I worry enough, then maybe I can, prevent bad things from happening.
Exactly. But this verse is saying, just let go. Trust that you're not alone.
Right.
There's someone there with you.
Exactly. And that leads us right into that next group of verses, all about transformation and seeking wisdom. So let's start with 2 Corinthians 5:12. It says, therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old has gone, the new is here. New creation. That's huge.
Yeah, it is.
What does that say about like how faith can change us?
I don't know. I mean, I think about it, and it's not just about believing things. It's about being changed. Like fundamentally,
Yeah.
like we get a fresh start, a new
Wow.
way of seeing the world,
Yeah.
which is exciting, but also, it can be kind of scary.
Absolutely. It's a constant process, right, of transformation.
Right.
And that brings us to that next verse, James 1:5.
Okay.
It says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. And did you notice like how it
How
starts?
about the if?
Yeah. It starts by like admitting that we don't always have the answers.
I love that.
Ew.
Because it's an invitation to say, hey, I need some help here.
Yeah.
I need some guidance. And it's saying we can ask for it without being ashamed or, afraid of being judged.
Exactly. It's a reminder that we're not meant to figure this all out on our own.
Yeah. Which brings us to that last verse you picked out, Colossians 3:2.
Yes.
It says, set your minds on things above, not on earthly things.
Mm-hmm.
So like, how do you interpret that in like a practical way?
So I don't think it's telling us to ignore our responsibilities
Hmm.
or to act like earthly things don't matter.
Right.
I think it's more about, where we choose to focus our energy, our
Yeah.
attention. Like imagine you have a spotlight.
Okay.
What are you shining it on? Is
Uh,
it on your fear, your worry, comparing yourself to others?
yeah.
Or are you shining it on hope, gratitude, purpose?
I like that. The spotlight analogy.
Yeah.
It's like choosing where to direct our mental energy, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Does that like connect back to any of those earlier verses?
Oh, totally. Because when we set our minds on things above, we're more likely to find that refuge in God, to let go of our anxieties, give them to Him, and seek His wisdom when we're making decisions.
Yeah.
It all works together to create that foundation of strength, resilience.
And it's all connected.
Yeah.
Well, as we kind of wrap up this deep dive,
Mm.
which of these verses like really spoke to you the most?
That's a tough one. I mean, they all have like amazing insights, but as you think about these verses this week, I want you to consider this.
Mhm.
These passages are all about seeking strength and wisdom. What's one thing, one practical step that you can take, like today, to apply these truths to your life?
Oh, that's a good question. A really good question. Well, thanks for joining us on this amazing exploration. Keep digging into these verses, see what you find, what
Absolutely.
gems you uncover.